Hi guys, my name is Eclipse, and today I want to talk to you about a thought that I've had for a very long time, which is how to improve Operation Locker. Now, during this episode we're going to be talking about things like Hoth walkways, if you guys, I'll explain that to you later, more destruction, a completely new pathway through the mountain. This is not just my own idea, these are ideas that I've had with my squad mates and that I've talked about before, so some of these ideas might be theirs, some of these ideas might be my own. I'm not going to take full credit for all of these ideas, but one thing is sure that by the time this episode is over, you will have a much more better idea of what this map really should be and how great it can be. This is going to be an awesome episode, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So this is how the map stands at the moment. Now let's just zoom in a little bit more. Okay, perfect, that's just where we need it to be. And this is how the map is laid out at the moment. You obviously have one strip going along the whole outside that connects all the bases together. This is pretty much the backbone of the outside. Now you have the middle section that streams in and out with many different passageways to get through it, but to be honest, this map often gets choked up at the C point, and my new map layout that I have, that solves it all. This doesn't take anything away from the original one that is here. It adds to it. Doesn't take anything away. You have your same passageways, you have your same different little hallways, your same little cubby holes that you made, love, and hold dear. But I've just added things to it. I haven't taken anything away, and I hope you guys are really gonna like it. So let's just have a look at the new map. Okay, so here it is. What do you guys think? It's added a lot to it, but you probably actually can't see it like this. So let's just highlight it for you. Okay, now you can really understand how much I've actually added to this, and now we're going to walk through what I've done, and we're going to highlight every little nook and cranny for you. And first we're going to zoom in a little bit though, and to give you a better idea of where everything is, I'm going to add in the marker points. So there you go, now you know where everything corresponds comparatively to A, B, C, D, and E. Now you might think that E is being left out, but I'm going to add in some conquest markers, and trust me, it's really going to make everything nice, and it's going to add in more playability to this map than there is at the moment, because this is compared to Metro. Now with this modification, hopefully it would go from the great map that it is at the moment to an awesome map. Now let's just highlight everything that is like your different stairs, the different levels there is to it, the different conquest markers that I want in it. So let's just do that now. Okay, so there you go, we've added in everything we needed to, we've now given you a key as well, which green is the new entrances, orange is the Hoth zones, or hazardous zones, yellow are the stairs, blue are the security checkpoints, brown are the bar doors, and purple is the incline that you will have from E up to D. Now, many of you probably have noticed that we've added in 2 more checkpoints, that is B and E. We've switched every other one back around, and that means we've got 2 more to play with, bringing in even more playability to this map. Now what I'm going to do is walk through the different levels. We're going to be starting on the very right, looking at level 3 and most of 2, then we're going to move on to E, which is possibly my most favourite addition to this whole map, and then we're going to finally move on to 2, which is a really good section of the map that I hope will bring in a lot of playability to this map. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so really the first thing we have to talk about is how do you get onto that level 3. Obviously you just are on the left hand side of A, and you come up here, and right to your left this whole cavity would be just a walkway straight in to the little pathway. And the only way you would be able to go is right, so you would go right and you would walk down a double width stairways, which would be basically 2 of these just slapped together. Now, as soon as you got down those stairs, you would then instantly be greeted by these annoying little bastard buzzers. You can easily just jump through them a little bit. Some people might walk through these and buzzer them off, therefore giving the chance of people at B to know that they're coming from that way. So now it's finally come down to that time when I actually have to explain to you what are the Hoth zones, as I like to nickname them, but they're actually more like hazardous snow zones. So we're going to talk about how a big B section actually is, and then we'll get into what the hazardous snow zone actually is. So this is about how wide it's going to be right here. But still, you must be wondering what the hell are these hazardous snow zones, and I'll explain this to you right now. This is what happens in Metro. You whap out your gun, you shoot a few of these beams, and the whole ceiling will fall and collapse down on you. And I want to take this but integrate it into the level that it really should have been integrated into first, which is Operation Locker. It seems so simple to me. You know, you get a bit of Star Wars Hoth, you slap it in Operation Locker, and you get ceilings that can collapse down on you and possibly even close off whole areas. So let's imagine you're attacking from A and you want to come up the stairs into B, go down the stairs into B, through the checkpoint, little marker buzzy thingies, and you're instantly greeted by enemies. What if they want to hold you off? What if they want to shoot at the little beams that are holding it up and they close down that entire area by taking down all the beams, but you still want to get through? You don't want to be cut off? That'd be bad, wouldn't it, if you got cut off? So you whap out your C4, you you throw it onto these massive mounds of rocks and snow, and you blow through this. This will shatter up loads of dust and everything, even when it falls down and when you blow it up. And it begins in that kind of playability that if you don't have a support person or a recon, you can't blow through. You can't blow through there, and you can't get through there, so you'll have to go a different way around. It brings in more playability, more variety to the map and how you play. If you're constantly going as Assault, you're going to need to play well as a squad, and you're going to have that extra recon or support person to actually be able to use that C4 on that location and attack further into B, making it just a much more varied and more exciting gameplay, really. Now, all of B will be one massive kind of snow cave, so you'll be able to do that nearly anywhere within B, and there'll be lots of different rocky kind of types from the outside, but just inside, and I just think that capture point will be very interesting to see how people would be able to integrate into their gameplay, having C4 already set up somewhere and trapping somebody in it and then blowing them up in it. I don't know how it would really work. I just think it's a great concept, really. And what happens with that hazardous snow zone is also applicable to all the other ones. All your tiny little corridors, you can throw down grenades and it'll tear down a little bit of snow, but obviously putting down C4 in there will just make the whole cavern collapse. So if you see one that is further along next to C, which connects just behind the buzzers in C, which goes down into our corridor that leads onto the stairs and is next to the bar doors, that is also able to break in that, and you'll be able to bust through with C4 as well. And I just think that kind of Levelalution would bring about lots more variety in your gameplay, and it would be a lot more exciting to be able to play this map instead of it just being the same dull kind of, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll run here. I know that Operation Locker can be very fun at some times, but this would just bring even more fun into a map that is awesome already. Now, my favourite part of this whole edition is level 1, really, which is Capture Point E, and I love this one because it really brings back about, for me, what Battlefield is all about. It's all about the destruction, and this is the cell blocks, which is number 1E, and these are really tight, confined spaces, but once you get going and you blow through this as the level gets on, this is going to become just a hella hive, really, of just chaos, and it would be amazing just to see what people would be able to do with this, because you would be able to blow down every single wall. I know you can blow down quite a few in the lockers, but not quite as many as this. I'd just love the shell to be left remained, and I think that would be awesome if you had just that center little 4 cells as the capture point ones. Now, the incline that you have, which is marked there by the purple, that is where you would get from E, and it would incline nice and ever so gently all the way up to where D is now, or where C used to be. And you'd have also a little staircase up to the left of where you get there. And once the tower is up, it's not all that exciting, but once you blow it down, it really would become some kind of hive of awesome chaos, of really, with D being there, and E being all the way down there, it would just become crazy. So at the moment you can see the little area behind me, which is marked all the way there. That would be broken out, and that would be the incline that would come up from D up to E where we are now, and the little stairs that is on that as well would come up right here, and you could blow these through. That's why they would be kind of like Hoth walkways. You'd just blow them down if you didn't want people to get through them, but once again, it's one of those that with these Hoth walkways and how they work, you would just be able to keep on putting them down and then blowing them up to make them accessible again, and it would be one of those nice back and forth almost plays with most of these, which I think would bring about a whole very interesting way to play. So, in summary, really, level 1 or capture point E, which leads up to D, really is my favourite, because it would just be a hive of chaos. All the cell blocks being blown through, only their shells being left remained, and that awesome walkway up from D, which you'd have like RPGs coming down from. It would just be absolute chaos, and it would bring about much more movability, that you'd be able to move through the cells as well, because most of the cells there would be locked as they stand at the start of the map, but as soon as you start blowing through them, you'd be able to play in a different way, which would be much more better really than we have it standing at the moment, where C is kind of the bottleneck at the moment. So this is the last part of this, and it's possibly the hardest to explain really. You have a lot going on in such a small little space, but I'll try and make sense of it. Because you have two stairways that lead up to it, you have the checkpoints that are on the lower side, and you have that tiny little cell block that is very slim. That's where most snow has fallen through in, and you can also do what the tank does on Siege of Shanghai, where you can start at one of the bottom cells and lay down C4 and blow your way all the way through all of the cells. Now, I think that would be very interesting. It would also bring up a kind of like a sniping range on that side as well, and this is basically the add-on of the hospital area that you already have. Now, the hazardous little snow zones that you have, which are two of them located that go up to F, they would be located right here. And also, if we just quicken it up a little bit, one will be located right here. Now, I think this brings about much more connectivity through the whole map, which I really wanted to go through with this whole modification of the map and showing you guys all of this. This is what the whole modification is about, is being able to connect with different areas of the map in new ways and more exciting ways, really. Now, this area here, which is labeled this area, would be almost identical to the hospital area that they already have, but I think it would be good to extend the whole hospital area over to these little small cell areas, because it gives a different kind of feel, really. The hospital isn't super clean, but it's much more clean than most of the cell blocks, and I really wanted to bring in a bit more cleanliness, to the rest of the level, or at least this part, especially with the Hoth area being directly near it. So this is how you see it at the moment, and now on your very left hand side of this, in that little corner, that would be the entrance, which would be a slim little entrance all the way up to where the operation room would be, and I think that would be a great little addition to have a little circular operation room. So hopefully that little surgery area there would stop some of the camping and some of the horrible choke points that you currently have on this map. This whole modification of this whole entire map is just, it's all about being more easily be able to connect from points to different points. It's just about more easier movement than we have currently at Operation Locker. It's just, some of the choke points are hilarious, and when you're playing on 64-man servers, it's just horrible. There's not enough room for you, really. This is one of the major problems, and I think this massive expansion onto the level would completely absolve the level of that problem. It would be so much more better. The destruction that you'd have down in your little E would be absolute mayhem, and some people would absolutely love that, and some people would hate it. You'd constantly have no structure to hide behind, nothing. It was just, yeah, and your little Hoth areas or your hazardous snow areas. I hope you guys like that idea. It's not just mine, it's thought up with Nazul, and I hope you guys like all the ideas. I hope you guys like this entire modded map that I've done for you guys here. This is actually quite a lot of time and effort has gone into this, guys, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Leave a like, leave a comment, please do comment, and tell me what you think about this map, and possibly subscribe to this channel if you guys want to see more videos like this. Please do tell me if you want to see more videos like this, because me and Nazul have been talking an insane amount about how we'd love to change some of the Levelalutions, and that hazardous snow zone, or Hoth zone as I like to nickname it, that's just one of the very few ideas. We've got loads of ideas for Siege of Shanghai and how that should be improved, and just loads of different other maps. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this whole episode, and until next time, guys, bye bye.